I feel oftentimes conversations that I've had with folks and conversations that I've been told about from other people without, getting into specifics, I've grown to feel a sense of frustration that that my perspective is maybe less heard because I'm younger and I haven't been there yet, or when I get to this point, or oh, you're so young, you're not even 30 yet, and that's I understand that. I understand the perspective. I'm not trying to trash on it, but at the same time, we're coming out here. Young people are coming out and we're saying, hey, this is what we need. This is what we're looking for.
Yep.
And it's not met with, okay, well then that's probably the direction we should be going in because you guys are the future of the area, not to, and I don't mean to prioritize young people over our aging population.
I hear what you're saying.
Is that a divide that you've encountered, and what do you think that that's something that we can speak to at all about? Do you find that it's hard to crack through people's perceptions of what affordable housing is, as opposed to what really affordable housing in 2019 actually is?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, actually, that you've been met with that, because I think that's wrong. I do, because I think I've spent a lot of my career working with teens and young people, and I understand the value that they bring to a community, and I understand how undervalued they are, and it's frustrating. So I've done, I instigated a community conversation on how we create a more friendly, build a friendly community around young people. How do we do better there? And I also think it's not unique to our community, because we have, our generation, my generation, we have put your generation behind the 8 ball. Your debt after school, your college debt, my kids are in their 30s. They did not graduate with the same level of debt that your generation has. So what we have done as a country, what we have done as a state, is put our kids in a position where even if, all things being equal, if rent was what it was here in Peterborough, if your college debt wasn't what it was, you could afford to live here. There'd be some more affordability, right? But I think the whole picture right now, and especially in New Hampshire, so this state is graying at a rate like second in the country, maybe first. We are,
yeah,
and
I've
so,
heard that.
right? So you've got that force happen. So when I think about issues, I think, what other forces outside of Peterborough are impacting that we have no control over, right? That are impacting the lives of the people who live here? Well, think about what we've done with college and college debt, what we've done just in terms of the state, in terms of its divestment of, what are we, the most expensive state to go to college in? Our kids here have the highest level of student debt anywhere in the country, right? So on top of that, our minimum wage is $7.25. Who can live on $7.25, right? It's our state is tone deaf. Our leadership is tone deaf. How do we imagine that young people can live in this state at $7.25 an hour, or even $10 an hour, or $12 an hour? Nobody can. And so this is happening all over the country, but it's really in sharp relief here because of how much our population is aging and how how out of balance we are. So there are a lot of pieces to this that we need to fix. And I think if we don't start opening our minds, our ears, our hearts to the young people who are in our community, to actually hear from them and ask for their help in solving the problem, then we are basically shooting ourselves in the foot, because they're not going to stay. You know, you're going to go somewhere where you can get $15 an hour minimum wage, where, you know, maybe if you wanted to go back to school, you could do better somewhere else. You could go to Massachusetts, or you could go out west. I don't know. But the thing is that if we don't start to consider, and we don't also start to engage younger people in the discourse, in the problem solving, in the process, then we will not be where we want to be with this. And so I think we have a lot of work to do, but I am a listening ear for young people. I just am, because I don't know. It was all those years working with teenagers that it was like, it blew my mind the kind of good work that kids could get done if you could support them and get them kind of pointed in a good direction. You know, like if you could ask them the right questions, like, what do you care most about? What's important to you?
Yeah.
If you could start to have those dialogues, then you had the possibility of something. But right now, I think older people think they know. This is what I first encountered when I came here. When I'd say, where's the youth voice in this conversation? Why don't we have a youth council in this town? People would say to me, adults would say, oh, we know what the kids want. We know what they're thinking. So-and-so at the high school, so-and-so at the high school, we've had her on the committee. She tells us. And I would be like, what? Where is the youth voice?